So today we have an issue here. We're just looking at a pipe we have running along a cow lane here. It's not buried, it has cows walking on it, tractors driving over it a lot of the time, and it has started to leak. What happens is with these competitors' fittings, the pipe moves inside the fitting, twists and turns, and the pipe ends up getting scored, and the seal then seems to not be able to seal around the pipe as well, and you start leaking. So we're just going to take this fitting apart, take it off, and we're going to replace it with an Agriflow fitting. So we'll walk through step by step how the Agriflow goes together, how it works, and we'll see the end result when we have it finished. We're not going to turn the water off because we're about 500 metres away from the tap and we don't have time to go back up and change, turn off the water. So we'll have to make it work while we're in the field here. No damage to threads, no damage to the inserts, no damage to the rubber seals. But the pipe here, as you can see, is damaged. So that pipe there isn't cut straight. That was cut with a penknife because that's all I had with me when I saw the leak the last time. And you can see here on the pipe, as cows and traffic and all the rest drives over these pipes, as the sun is shining and it gets warm and it gets cold, this pipe is expanding and contracting and twisting and turning this way, and the pipe ends up becoming scored. So really, for these fittings to work, what I need to do now is get a pipe cutters, so walk all the way back up to the yard when I'm in the middle of doing something else, walk all the way back up to the yard, get pipe cutters and cut it. When I come back then, this will be too short to fit into a new fitting. Now I'll have to go get a second fitting and another piece of pipe and join it down here somewhere. Just turns into an awful big job. So the Agriflow fittings will have no issue with this pipe not being cut straight. It'll have no issue with this pipe being scored like that. It'll just go on and it'll seal, hand tight as well. So I'll just show you that now. We're just going to fit an Agriflow fitting here now. There's two things about these fittings that I really like. One is the rubber seal on the inside. It'll have no problem with the scoring, the heavy scoring that's on that pipe that you can see there. And two, it has a locking nut on the inside here, which means when you shove on the pipe or the fitting onto the pipe, it's locked on straight away. You don't have to tighten it by hand or anything. Problem with the other fittings is that you'd want 4 hands at times. You're shoving the two pipes together and they're coming apart and you're trying to tighten 2 nuts at the same time as well. You'd want 2 people with you by right. But I'll just show you now here the locking system. So we'll just shove that up, we'll loosen the nut off a little bit and we'll shove that up on the pipe. Again with the water still on here. And that is locked now, not even hand tight. Cannot pull that fitting off of that pipe. So it's held there. So we'll shove it in and we'll lock this side up. Again, just hand tight. And we'll take the other side of the pipe and we'll shove it into the fitting here and shove it up hand tight. Again, the water is still on, so. Hear how quiet that is, that means it's not leaking. And you can clearly see that there. That is just hand tight. I can tighten more. You could get wrenches at it if you wanted to hand tighten, but it doesn't need any of that. And that is not leaking. So just to recap, 4 points. So you have reliability of the fittings, functionality, ease of use, and they're cheaper than all the competitors. And that's why we use Agriflow on our farm.